Here, notice.
This is crazy. That's a beach.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's a beach. It's a beach for giant monsters. Is what it is. You can see in this here that you've actually got three massive currents converging here. Do you see that over here on the right? You've got a massive current coming in that would be from the west, and then we would be standing looking down current. Of course, the drone I'm guessing here is about 200 feet in elevation. So the top of the water was another 800 to 900 feet above this perspective right here. And it's moving very, very fast. And it's sweeping down into a river valley that's down in those mountains you see in the distance. And from there, it's being carried down and joining up other equally as large floods coming in from other valleys. And all of this is happening at once, and it's covering 5 states, basically. And that's just one region that's being affected by this sudden catastrophic melting of the ice sheets.
We are dealing with the largest flood that ever occurred on Earth. It's as simple as that.
This is insane. I mean, it's insane to look at.
And it happened here in North America, and it happened 12,800 years ago, and its story has yet to be fully told.
Isn't it possible that there was something larger before, like the 65 million year ago one that hit the Yucatan? Like, what kind of an impact did that have?
Well, it actually would, because if that had happened 12,000 years ago, we wouldn't be having
none of us would be here
today.
Yeah, that would be a wrap, right?
Yeah, that was a single large object about 6 miles wide. That was a much more devastating impact than the impacts of 12,800 years ago. But nevertheless, those impacts of 12,800 years ago were really, really bad, and they did stuff like this. And anything that was in the way of these massive flows of water, would have been rubbed completely from the story.
See, this all makes sense.
Yeah, and here's the thing that the Michael Shermers don't get. When you understand the extent of this, the scale of this phenomena, and the severity, the inconceivable severity of this, in the aftermath of an event like this, what would remain of a city, a village,
a refrigerator?
No, not a goddamn thing.
Nothing.
Not much. Nothing would exist in the aftermath of this.
And most things wouldn't exist. I mean, you find like an old refrigerator or a car up on blocks in someone's backyard in the South, and it's the 1970s, and the rot has gotten into the frame.
Nature's going to eat it up.
Yeah, nature's eating it up just in a couple of decades.
Right.
What's it going to be like in a couple thousand years? It's going to be non-existent.
We should not be surprised about how little we really know about our past. This is also a comfort game with archaeology. Oh yeah, we've got the past all worked out. We understand it. Here it is. This is what we teach in schools. This is what our friends in the media report. This is the fact. It's not the facts. We know nothing. There's been so much lost, so many missing pieces of the puzzle that we're desperately trying to stitch together. And it's important, I think, that we actually do get some clarity on events like this, because we still live on this planet, and we have kids, and we have a future, and we want to. Hopefully, not if
one of those big boys comes our way.
Well, that's right. But again, I come down to this, which is that we are not dealing with gloom and doom and the end of the world. We're dealing with a problem that humanity should be confronting. We should not be sticking our heads in the sand. We should be confronting this problem. And that's why I support the work of the Comet Research Group, because they are the only people right now who are confronting this problem and really getting to grips with it.
We should all confront. I mean, we should absolutely all support them and confront it, because if something like this can happen once, what really makes sense is how many stories of floods there are in ancient times, and how many parallels there are.
And how many there are from North America.
Yeah, dozens and dozens. Yeah, it was the Caitlin, the Indian artist who spent 30 years or so pre-Civil War, I think maybe a decade after the Civil War, painting Indians of different tribes. And he wrote a book called Last Rambles Among the North American Indians. Very, very interesting book. But what really is interesting to me when I read the book years and years ago was his final conclusion.